Come sail around the world with me. Ride on the waves of the deep blue sea. Float to an island where the days are free. Spend some time with my family. The Swiss Family Robinson, living in the sun. The Swiss Family Robinson, every day is fun, fun, fun. Friends all around me, everywhere. Down in the water, up in the air. All of them mean a lot to me, but my very best friends are my family. The Swiss Family Robinson, living in the sun. The Swiss Family Robinson, every day is fun, fun, fun. The Swiss Family Robinson, living in the sun. The Swiss Family Robinson, every day is fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun.
All that hard work and our boat is gone.
I'm afraid so, Becca. Our boat has been severely damaged by the storm. How will we ever leave the island now?
It was so hard to look at the boat that Fritz and Father worked so long on. All their hard work destroyed, and now all our hopes of getting off this island shattered. I tried to make myself feel better by at least appreciating the fact that we were all safe and not sailing during such a violent storm. Still, I couldn't help wishing we were home. And now I don't know how we'll ever get off this island.
All of our hard work is resting at the bottom of the ocean now, I'm afraid.
I just can't believe it, Father.
Hey, I know what. Maybe we could salvage it.
I'm sorry, son. That's just wishful thinking.
Becca, look over there by Brewster. The storm knocked down a whole bunch of coconuts. Look at these. That dog, he must like coconuts too.
This is great. Finally, we'll be able to eat all we want.
Let's go show Mother.
Yay!
Hey! Take a look at this piece of wood. I think it's from the ship.
Huh? Let me see.
That doesn't seem possible.
It's the post we used to moor the boat.
Oh, you're right.
Imagine the strength of the storm that sank our boat last night. How terrible!
You know, we're fortunate it sank. If we had left the island on our boat, we would have all been killed when the first storm hit. The next boat we build will have to be sturdy enough to withstand the weather conditions we'll face on the open sea.
I don't know about that, Ernest. It seems much more risky to try to make our own boat.
It could work. We just have to find materials durable enough to weather the strength of the ocean. Fritz and I will be working on it until we find something, won't we, son?
Mm-hmm.
What a big pile of coconuts. What do you got there, Brewster?
We'll probably be sick of coconuts by the time we finish all of these. Hey, where'd you get that bottle, Jack? Let me see it.
Hey, that's mine.
There's nothing in it.
I know, but I still want it back.
Well, I hoped there'd be a message.
Becca, give it back.
It would have been so romantic to find a note from a handsome prince.
Come on, hand it over.
There. I do wonder how this ended up here.
Time to head home.
Jack! Becca! Let's go!
We're coming, Mom!
Hey, what about the coconuts?
Don't worry, we'll come and get them later.
Okay.
It seemed as if it would go on raining forever. I was grateful that at least we had a roof over our heads.
I don't know how in the world I'll be able to cook anything for dinner if the storm keeps up.
Although the rain was starting to make me feel a bit caged, I think the animals suffered the most because they weren't used to being cooped up inside. I wasn't used to having all of them indoors either. The house never seemed so small before.
This rock must weigh a ton.
Not quite,
It feels like we're almost there. Mom will be able to cook dinner tonight, after all.
By that time, we will have earned it.
My arms feel like they're 2 inches longer. but it'll be worth it if you make your famous chowder, Mom.
You always know just what to say, Fritz.
There, now it's secured.
Ready?
Well, one last heave-ho, and we'll have it.
I think that looks more like a wheel than a stove.
There you go, Anna. You can cook to your heart's content.
Well, what do you think of it? Would you like to be the one to build the first fire?
Oh, all right.
Hey, would you two hurry it up with that fire? Jack and I are hungry as bears over here.
Sure thing. We're just about finished.
We haven't made a fire indoors since we were back at our old house.
This is the first time we've built a fire on the second story of our house. I wonder if the food will taste different.
I doubt it. You have quite an imagination, though, Becca.
The fire's ready to go, Mom.
Thank you. That didn't take long at all. You must be hungry, too.
Did you already make the chowder, Mom?
Yes, it'll just take a moment to heat it up.
Soup's on, everyone.
I would have hauled up 6 rocks for this chowder.
Anna, I'll bet you're the only woman I know who could cook this well, so far from civilization.
Thank you. Although actually, I think our little treehouse is becoming quite civilized.
There's not much to do in the rain. Fritz, do you want to play chess after we're finished eating?
Of course. I'd be happy to play with you if you don't mind losing again.
You'll regret that, big talker.
First, I'd like for you to do the dishes, then worry about your game.
Sure! This game should be finished in no time.
I hope that you're right. I want to win first.
You'd better start paying attention instead of boasting so much.
All right, take that.
Huh? Look at that. I've bungled it.
Look, the rain's finally stopped.
Do you think it will rain again, Dad?
Who knows, Becca, but I think I'll go to the woods while I can.
What for?
I'm going to gather up the coconuts.
I'll go.
Are you running away from our game?
Why, of course not.
I think it's best if I go alone. I know what you can do. Why don't you gather leaves for the goats?
Right.
That's fine with me as long as we leave the game set
All
up.
right. I'd probably say the same thing if I were winning.
While Dad and Brewster collected coconuts, Fritz and I picked leaves for the animals. We wanted to get as much done as we could before it rained.
This is sure going to be the easiest time I ever had gathering coconuts. Unfortunately, what was good for me wasn't good for that tree. Poor thing. That storm did even more damage than I thought.
We'll be here all day. I've only picked enough leaves to feed one goat.
We'll just have to go faster. Here's a few more, Fritz.
Huh? Not rain again. I think I should take you home, Becca.
Let's stay. We don't have enough leaves yet. We just have to come back.
All right, but we're gonna get soaked.
It doesn't bother me. It just makes me feel clean.
Oh, brother.
It's fun to be out in the rain. I feel quite happy. Ah.
You're right, Brewster. It is time to go home.
Boy, you must have been starving, little fella.
I hope you all appreciate all the time I spent drying off these leaves for you. Don't worry, you can eat as much as you want. Hey, Fritz, how's the donkey?
Hungry. He hasn't come up for air yet. Are the goats thankful to us for getting sopping wet just so they could have their dinner?
I'm sure they'd say that our little adventure was worthwhile.
Me too, even if we got wet.
Speaking of getting wet, I'm home.
You're soaked, Dad.
This is quite a hair-raising chess game.
Fritz, it's your turn.
I know it is.
I just hope that your clothes are almost dry. I'm getting cold just looking at you two.
I don't feel one bit cold.
It's fun. We can pretend it's summer.
Yes, Anna, it does feel quite comfortable.
Oh, you're as bad as they are, really.
Is it summertime? 'Cause your shirt's off?
Since it's a lot warmer in the summer, you don't need as many clothes, see?
I want it to be summer too. Mercedes will be nice and warm.
I think Mercedes also wishes it were summer.
Mom, aren't you warm wearing all those clothes? Come on, it's summertime.
I'm really quite comfortable. You know, I really like having the whole family home together for the afternoon. It's very cozy. I almost hope it never stops raining.
Never's an awful long time, Anna, but it's nice to be inside with a family.
Check.
Hey, I'm not ready.
It looks like I'm going to win.
Oh,
As the storm grew worse, the wind blew harder and harder until I thought our house might be blown out of its tree. The rain, which had made our home seem so cozy this afternoon, made it seem spooky at night. I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep a wink. Mercedes, come here. Were you scared? wonder how the other animals are. The storm raged all night long. I couldn't help but wish we were back in our old home in Switzerland with its solid foundation. But when morning came and I saw how beautiful the raindrops looked glistening in the sun, I was glad to be continuing our island adventure. Water sparkles like diamonds in the sun.
You're observant, Becca. They both reflect light.
Ernest! Ernest? If you'd like to come along, I'm going to check on how the garden held up in the storm.
Of course, my dear. I'll go with you.
I'll go too.
Me too.
Actually, since it's finally nice out, I'd appreciate it if you two would stay and take care of the animals.
All right.
Well, I guess we'll just have to hope for the best. What's this? Everything's underwater.
It certainly is a mess. I have to try and salvage what we can.
The wheat! I spent so much time trying to grow that wheat, it's just got to be all right. Oh my, look! It's ruined!
You have to be patient. Your mother hasn't eaten for a long time, so she wants to graze a little longer than usual.
Be careful. Don't tip the bowl. You've done it again. The chickens need help.
What's wrong, Jack?
They keep knocking their bowl over into the wet mud. Say, look.
The poor things must be starved if they're eating that wet grain. Hey, I just thought of a great idea. Come on. Hurry, Jack. It'll be impossible for the chickens to spill their grain now.
That's a good idea. Now they won't spill any.
You know, Jack, sometimes I think I'm a genius.
This is really work, but it'll be worth it if we can save the garden.
I'm just glad I'm outside again. I was beginning to get a bad case of cabin fever.
So that's why you have so much energy. We'll have this field drained before your mother has a chance to worry about it. That should be enough.
Hey, we did it! It almost looks like a waterfall.
The water's draining off the field remarkably fast.
Look at all the water, Mother.
That didn't take very long at all. Thanks for helping your father. My vegetables look better already.
The rain will never be able to destroy our crops again.
Fields are just a lot of bother. Seems there's either too much rain or there's not enough rain.
That's right. Gardens are sensitive to the weather, but I think they're well worth the trouble.
I guess you're right. I know I'm glad we're having melon for dinner.
And that goes double for me. What? Look at those fish.
I don't understand how all these fish got on the bridge.
The fish swam too far upstream when the river rose during the storm. Now that the water's gone down, they're stranded.
Well, they sure don't look very happy about it.
I'm sure they're not. Would you be?
Well, no.
Unfortunately, the only thing that would help those fish right now is some more rain. If the water rises again, then they'll be able to swim back to the ocean.
Will it rain again?
Well, all I know is that seeing all these fish makes me want to cook some of them for dinner. I've got one. See if you can get one, Fritz.
Whoa! Take a look at this one. This turned out to be quite a unique fishing trip.
The rain did produce an unexpected crop.
Yes, we'll have to fish on the bridge more often.
Becca will be awfully mad that we went fishing without her.
You lied! Dad, you said you were going to the garden. You didn't say anything about fishing.
Honestly, the only place we went was the garden, Becca.
I don't know. It's hard for me to believe Dad and Fritz caught these fish with their bare hands.
It's really true, Becca.
Oh, rats. I wish that I could have gone.
Me too.
I know. I'll bet. This is just what you needed to cheer you up.
Ah!
Now what do you say?
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot,
Mother.
Mom. This is great.
I like this fish.
I found it hard to believe that it rained for 3 more days. Thanks to the ditches that Dad and Fritz dug, Mom's vegetable garden was all right. Although I didn't think I'd be able to stand it much longer. I was going out of my mind with boredom.
Look.
What's the matter, Becca? You've been standing here all day.
Oh, well, I'd like to go fishing if it would just stop raining for a
Oh.
minute.
I see. Would you be willing to go even if you get soaking wet?
Huh? Yeah!
Good. I'm getting tired of staying inside myself.
Thanks, Dad. Jack, do you want to go fishing with me?
I sure do.
Fishing? Really? Not in this rain.
Don't worry. Besides, I want to go myself.
Oh, Ernest.
I know why you want to go. It's because it's so easy to catch fish right now.
Well, you're right, Fritz. I have to admit that it is fun to be able to catch all the fish I want.
Dad, do you think there's going to be a lot of fish on the bridge today, huh?
I hope so. The odds should be in our favor. The rain is kept up.
I hope we get even more fish than you did with Fritz.
We'll see.
Oh. I don't see a single solitary fish. Do you, Jack?
Nope.
Dad, are you positive this is the right place?
Yes, I'm positive
is?
this is the right place. Ah, what's this? One fish and one more?
Ah!
All right, I'm going to toss them to you. Hang on, they're slippery.
These fish sure are slippery, aren't they?
Oh!
Quit that!
Well, Becca, I tried to warn you.
I see what you mean.
Oh!
You would have been proud to see Jack and Becca fishing.
I'm sure I would. I didn't think you'd catch this many fish.
It wasn't easy, but our two fishermen here were determined not to let the fish get the upper hand.
So, are you happy now, Becca?
Yes, you know, I've been thinking that the rain has brought us good luck.
Who'd have guessed it?
The rain continued. Fritz decided to challenge Dad to a game of chess since he hadn't been triumphant in our last match. Are you paying attention? It's your turn.
I know that, but I don't think it's any of your business.
You're not going to move that one.
I'll ask you when I want your advice.
Hey, what's all the commotion about? You two are making a lot of noise considering you're not even both playing the same game.
Anna, what's that? Corn?
Yes, I'm pounding it into flour so I can make a special treat.
What are you going to make, Mom?
Your favorite, cake.
Cake?
Why not? I haven't baked a cake in ages.
Oh, how wonderful! Do you think I can make one, Mother?
I don't see why not.
I can't wait!
Oh? I'll make one also.
I had no idea we had so many bakers. Remember, the more you grind the corn, the lighter your cake will be.
Mercedes, you can have some as soon as I'm finished.
Mercedes will eat anything.
I'm looking forward to having some of this cake myself.
If it hadn't been for this rain, who knows when I would have had the chance to make a cake. I usually have to spend most of my time working outside.
If it hadn't been for the rain, Dad never would have stopped working long enough to play chess.
Well, you might be right.
Now for the second step. Are you ready to add an egg to the batter?
Sure!
Mom, be careful. Remember the last time Becca tried to cook? Poor Brewster couldn't keep anything down for the rest of the week.
Cut it out, frog face.
You cut it out.
And you're not eating any of my cake.
All right, I'll just have some of Mom's cake instead.
Oh, I'll have you know my cake's going to be the best of all. Actually, making that cake was hard work. Beating up the egg made my arms so stiff, I almost considered asking Fritz for help. Ooh. I went right on stirring. It wouldn't do to ask for help since Jack wasn't having any trouble. I kept my strength up by thinking of the delicious cake we'd soon be eating. I was definitely relieved, though, when it was time to pour the batter into the molds that Mom had made out of palm leaves. We're done!
Hooray! We're gonna make a cake!
Yay!
Great.
And now for our final step. We have to bake our cakes for at least 30 minutes.
Hey!
Guess what? I think our cakes are ready now. Back up a little bit, please. This is very hot. They smell so scrumptious or making me hungry. Now let me see. This one's Becca's. And this one's Jack's.
Ah!
I know I'm ready to have some cake.
At least we were going to be able to eat our cakes. I could hardly wait to have Fritz tell me what a good cook I was. It looks so pretty, I almost hate to eat it.
Becca, tastes good.
That's the one I made, Dad.
Then my compliments to the chef.
Congratulations.
Fritz, please try the one I made.
All right, if you think I'll live to tell about it.
Go ahead.
Here goes.
Well,
This cake tastes like salt.
you just made that up.
Try it yourself, then.
Fritz was right.
Do you think you might have made a mistake and used salt instead of sugar, Becca?
Oh, that's what I did.
Becca's really quite a cook.
I think you should eat that cake, Fritz. You know that salt is a preservative, and you deserve at least as much consideration as the fish we put away for spring.
Instead, why don't you have a piece of cake I made?
I know this cake will be good. Thank you, Mother.
May I have some too?
Sure. There.
I admit it. I'd rather have Mom's cake than mine any old day.
Don't get discouraged, though, Becca. Remember, I've had years of practice.
Here.
And so ended another happy day on the island. Today I learned it would take a lot more than rain before I would ever be a good cook.